Hello everyone and welcome to Virtual Boy Wario Land. This is the sequel to the original Wario Land. It's a lot more similar to that game than it is to the later Wario entries, at least in the handheld section. And it is a game for the Virtual Boy, one of Nintendo's less successful ventures. It's not really an obscure console, but it's not really well known either. We're going to start a new game. And here we are as Wario. We've just landed with our plane here. We are enjoying some, I guess maybe that's wine or juice, who knows. And look at that. There's a beaver sneaking up on us. I think it is. Well, that wasn't very pleasant, but that's okay. But it's actually quite fortunate that that happened because Wario is spotting some ominous figures in the distance. This game is obviously about money, because it's quite close to the original Wario Land, both with regard to controls and with regard to how the game is designed in general. So here's some spearmen. They're not quite the syrup gang spearmen from the original Wario Land, but they are carrying treasures, and that's one sure way to catch Wario's attention. And look at that, we've got a vault here, and we've got a whole bunch of treasures. And look at that. It's essentially Scrooge McDuck's money bin. Of course we want all that money. Even though I'm not quite sure when this game takes place. This is already when Wario is rich. Maybe it is, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, just because of money doesn't mean we don't want more money. But well, we're not going to get that anytime soon because we just fell into a deep cave. And look at that 3D effect. Yeah, as you can see, this game is a 2D side-scroller. It's quite close to the original Wario Land. It does make use of the 3D capabilities up to a certain extent, and look at those spike balls. They're so three-dimensional. Well, actually, they're not. They're two-dimensional. They're just a two-dimensional image swinging in a three-dimensional space, so to speak. But it's still nice. I'm not going to show you this in 3D because that basically makes it unwatchable, unless you have proper goggles. And who wants to do that? But I'm going to show you this game in beautiful red and black nevertheless, because this is how the game is supposed to be played. Well, it's actually supposed to be played with this gigantic, like, virtual reality. I'm reluctant to call it a portable console because it's actually pretty heavy, and it's not super comfortable to use. I didn't have any problems. I've admittedly only played an actual Virtual Boy once, but yeah, let's get some guys into this money cloud here. And it's also because in Europe they're very rare, because I don't think the Virtual Boy was ever released here, and the only physical Virtual Boy I've ever laid hands on was one from a collector, so I never really knew many people who had one. Anyway, we're going to get to see a new feature soon, and that is jumping into the background. Look at that. It's fairly gimmicky, but it actually works quite well, and it does have some application. It's not just that they extend the level like this, but there's also some actual puzzles and stuff involved like this. But before we do that, let's get this key here. You don't need the key to unlock treasure chests, instead you need the key to exit the level. And here's a Mineko, one of these Japanese wavy cats, and that's our first treasure, and we need to find all 10 treasures for the best ending. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure how to achieve the best ending. I have checked, and you're supposed to get the best ending when you have, let's be careful here, when you have all 10 treasures, and when you complete the game with all 10 treasures in under 2 hours. But that didn't really give me the bad ending, the best ending last time. I did get a good ending, but not the best one. But oh well, we'll see. Boom. And I'm going to show you where to find all the treasures. I'm going to do my best there, but if you don't get the very best ending, that's okay too. This game actually has, I think, 6 or 7 endings, so getting all of them is a bit tricky. But overall, it's not super important. And here we have completed the first stage. We can play a game for extra lives and coins here, but I'm not going to bother with that because I think they're a bit too tricky. I'm just not very good at them. We're going to save up our coins here. And our beaver friend is going to wave us through to the next level. And there are skulls on the walls. These are essentially based on the spiky ceiling enemy from the first game. I'm not quite sure what the official name of those is, but it doesn't really matter. What do we have here? Yep, got another one of those arrow blocks. And the background often has a lot of goodies. It never really has enemies. It does occasionally have obstacles, such as spikes and pits, but there generally aren't any enemies, probably because it would be a bit of a hassle to get rid of those. And I don't want to deal with you, thank you very much. And here we have Mario pipes as well, so this game not only is again more similar to Mario titles, but it also reintroduced a couple of Mario elements, not many, so don't expect a full Mario game here. And we are Bull Warrior now, so we can Bull Rush. We can also hold our Bull Rush and then just move if you want to. That can be important in some situations. And here we have more goodies, great. And you can also stomp blocks from the top now, which is pretty sweet as well. And there's another money cloud, and here's the key. So let's just get a couple of these guys here into that cloud, because I want all those coins. And these coins here, the larger coins, they give you 20 pieces, so you really want those. Boom. There we go. And now we have 200 coins, not too bad. I think you might have to find a specific amount of coins. Do we want those hearts? It might not be too important, we'll see. You might have to get a certain amount of hearts coins to get the best ending, but I'm not too concerned about that. Here's a diamond, that's a 1-up. It's a huge diamond. Also more spearmen. Boom, so let's get rid of you. And look at that, fire blocks. I wonder how we get rid of those. Well, we're going to see in a moment, but for now, well, let's not collect that because we already have the bull helmet, so no need for that. But what we do want to do is, yeah, I guess get rid of you guys. Oh, careful. Don't want to run into the spearman. As per Wario rules, if you run into someone spiky, you're going to lose your power and you will become small midget punk Wario. Also now we have the dragon helmet, the sea dragon helmet. This one here doesn't have a stomp, but it does allow you to use a flamethrower, and this is more like an actual flamethrower. You can turn it on and off. If you use it for too long, it's going to stop functioning, but you can reactivate it afterwards, and you have more control over it than you used to have in the first game, which is appreciated. And here we have a bust. Great, so we've got the second treasure. Not bad. And I think we probably want to go into the background here. The question is, how do we get out of here? I guess we could just backtrack, but can we go through here? I mean, I did manage to break past the ceiling, but I don't think you can. Oh, can you get out of here? Yes, you can, so that's good. Do we want the bull helmet? I don't think we do, but I'll get to that as well. For now, we're done here. As you can see, the game does have a time limit. It's 20 minutes per stage. It's quite generous for most stages. Most stages can be completed in like 5 minutes or so. But you might need that time if you want to find all the treasures and all the secrets in some of the later stages. But we'll get to that. For now, let's move on to the next stage. And that will be an underwater stage. Sweet. Here we really want the sea dragon helmet because it allows us to attack straight forward underwater, and it will help us defend ourselves against chainsaw sharks with Jason Voorhees masks. And there we go. We don't want to touch these urchins here for obvious reasons. They're spiky and that's not good in a video game. And swimming has become even easier in this game because you can now just hold the up button, except when you want to swim against a current. Then it's not going to work. Also, I hate these fish because they disappear in the background. Another like 3D-ish feature. They did really put some effort into trying to exploit the Super Game Boy's, which I mean the Virtual Boy's capabilities. Also, if you touch garlic while you're powered up, you're not going to get depowered, which I do appreciate. Let's burn you and get even more coins. I think the game actually looks really good. The graphics are very clear. It does make use of the Virtual Boy's high resolution, and since it's mostly still 3D, it doesn't really look all that bad. These fish here, these like morays maybe, they can't be killed, but you can flame them for a moment and then they will retreat. Just want to be a little bit careful here. There we go, let's swim past you. And let's roast these blocks. You really want to be Sea Dragon Wario in this stage here. And look at that soothing music. But that's kind of a rule for water levels. Their music should be soothing. And also, the flamethrower just flat out works underwater. But it still seems to produce the regular flames and no steam. But then again, it's the Sea Dragon helmet, so I guess that's to be expected. These turrets here, they will push you down. If you want to swim against them, you actually have to push up. You can't just hold up. More sharks. This game isn't too hard overall. I think the bosses are really tricky. I'm terrible at fighting the boss in this game. But once you're small, this game gets a lot harder, a lot faster, and you can only get yourself hit once, and then you become Small Warrior. If you get hit another time, then you die, and it's back to the beginning of the game. But Poach, I mean stage, not game. That would be a bit cruel. This is not Iron Man Warrior. But if you have the key, you get to keep it, so you can just rush through the stage if you want to. Let's get all of these goodies here. And let's roast that fish. And here we go. Got another key. Sweet. Swim through here. And let's get out of here. The game also has a second quest if you complete the game with all treasures, but we're going to get to that. For now, it's just time to kill more sharks and more fish. Where are you? Don't hide below items. I don't appreciate that. Let's collect you as well. And I think, yeah, we can definitely get through here. Once more rewarded for being Sea Dragon Warrior, as we should be. And look at that, another huge diamond, another extra life, we can use that. Game over isn't really that big of a deal, at least not if you just want to complete the game. Alright, and look at the background, that even has some wavy features, that's kind of sweet. You're dead now, and there's spikes here as well. The game is generally quite generous when it comes to hitboxes. The actual spikes don't hurt you, it's only if you touch the ball, so the actual sprite of that. So it's not as bad as it looks. But what we want to do is roast this, of course. Crawl through here. Wario crawls automatically, so another quality of life feature. It's just so smoothly designed. You could argue it's too streamlined. And it's a bit too easy, but to be honest, occasionally I just like a game like this. I don't need to play brutal platformers all day long, which I don't really do anyway. I'm not exactly like a fan of Super Meat Boy. If people like it, that's cool, and I occasionally like to watch it, but for the most part I don't really enjoy it all that much. Let's wait here, and more goodies. And you get a lot more coins in this game, mainly because there's coins that are just worth a lot more than they were in the original Wario Land. But you can also lose them quite easily because there's no checkpoints in the levels. So let's roast this and get even more coinage. And we also want what's in here, namely the bull helmets. There we go. And the reason for that is that we still haven't found the treasure. Actually, wait a second. Was the elevator up there? Yeah, it was. Yeah, we want to go through here. And it is a chicken. Awesome, but it's probably a golden chicken because it's all shiny and everything. And this is, well, this is not super hard to find, but it's a bit tricky because this is the end of the stage, so you're tempted to just go here and continue to the next stage, possibly without even realizing that you haven't got the treasure yet. But that's okay. And here is the first boss. Well, there's a guardian here, a mini boss, and we have to fight that guy before we fight the actual boss. This guardian here is going to attack you twice. Well, it's going to attack you until you kill it. And what we have to do here is just jump on its soft underbelly. Then it's going to commit suicide, and we can fight the actual boss. The bosses are... I'm just terrible at fighting these bosses. But we're going to get to that. So... This is the first one is this dinosaur lizard. I'm not quite sure. He's going to throw his ball and chain at us. And I already got hit here. That's a really good start. Oh wow, that was terrible, wasn't it? Alright, let's try that again. And the good thing is we don't have to fight the Guardian again, so that's something. Also, let's try to hide in the corner this time. We only have to do this 3 times, so then this guy's going to go down, which is not super difficult. There we go. Here we go, and there we go. So that wasn't so bad. Let's wait for this guy to come to us. And there we go. Got a hit in here. You can wait for this guy to swing the ball around in the foreground, but I find that a lot more difficult. At least they do give you audio cues when you're supposed to jump. So that's something. There we go. And apparently this guy's heart is on a coil. That's weird, but then again this is Wario, so what do we expect? There we go. Here we go, and he does aim for you specifically, so we should be good now because we should be able to tank it even if he does hit us. And there we go. He's dead. Victory for us, and we do get a whole bunch of coins. It's good if you're not small here, so you can actually tackle along the screen and get more of the coinage. Because we want those for obvious reasons. Actually, it's not quite obvious, but then again, why wouldn't you collect these coins? And here we go. Awesome. Okay, time to continue. And yeah, I'm going to skip the minigames, I'm just not a fan of them. And we do have almost 2,000 coins, not bad at all. So here's the next stage, the forest. The forest is a bit more, it's not super tricky, but it's a bit more tricky. Oh yeah, I forgot you're flying, so I obviously can't stomp you, but that's okay. But I can throw you into this money cloud here. Also, let's see what's in here. Just more spearmen, that's fine. A heart, I'll take that, thank you very much. And we have one... Oh, look at that, it's the eagle helmet. The eagle helmet is like the jet helmet. So you can both, you can still tackle, and you can also fly regularly. That's actually an important distinction a little bit later on, but we'll see about that. For now, let's just kill you. That didn't work, but that's okay. Oh, wow, you came at me when I wasn't quite expecting it. Let's see, and look at that. Now we have the King Dragon helmet. Now we can through fire here, and we can also... Oh yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. We can also throw it through walls, which is quite nice. We can also fire it rapidly. And what the hell are you? I don't know, and I don't really care. But I'm going to roast you and all your friends. Do we want to be here? Maybe. And you can, yeah, we can shoot through obstacles, which is very convenient. Nope, didn't want to do that, but never mind. Do we even want to be here? You know what, let's maybe go here first. Nope, Wario, please stop doing that. Okay, we're going to get those blocks later. Let's just jump into the background for now. And let's see what adventures await us here. And the answer is... For some reason I thought that would hit me, but obviously it wouldn't because I'm in the background, so never mind. So, here we go. Got another one of these garlics here. They don't depower you when you get them. That's actually appreciated because I don't like it if you... It's okay if you have several power-ups and you can switch between them. I don't mind that at all, but I don't like if you can get explicitly depowered. That always feels off to me. So anything else here? Nope, doesn't look like it, but we do have another one of those spike guys. Don't need that helmet right now. But we're going to roast whoever is going to lurk around here. Including, I don't even know, is it just some sort of like spike plate you have there? That's just so weird. Anyway, we can get up here as well. This is where foreground and background get like not super confusing, but just mildly confusing at times, and occasionally it's just better if you try to focus only on one of them. I know that's easier said than done, but yeah, if you play this game yourself, you'll know what I mean. So let's eagle over all the way over here. They really want you to try out that new helmet, because otherwise you can't really make this anyway. And then let's see. Ooh, got another door here. Sweet. And here we have more goodies. I'll take it. Yep, and since the flames go through obstacles, you can just open all these blocks at once, which is pretty sweet as well. When you die, you actually get sent back to the beginning of... So is there anything down here? That's a question. There might just be spikes, to be honest, so I'm not quite sure about that. I'm mildly disappointed. I thought there would be more stuff here, but maybe there's not. Well, anyway, let's search a little bit more. We do have still like 60 minutes left to complete the stage, so it's not... Oh, we can go down here. I kind of forgot about that. That's good to know, so let's do just that. And let's see whether we can find anything else but coins here, but it doesn't seem to be the case, but that's alright. So let's go back. And is there anything here? No, doesn't look like it either. If you have this helmet here, you should always like, fire around wildly a little bit, just so you can make sure that you do get all the secrets behind destructible walls and stuff. And here we go. If you want to complete the game in the shortest amount of time possible, you should actually stick with the bull helmet probably. This helmet here is very useful, but it's also... There we go. It's also not very fast. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just going to kill you, because otherwise you might make trouble later. And generally it's not a very long game. You can easily complete it in under 2 hours, even if you haven't played it before. And there's some replay value because you can find all the treasures, and there's a second quest, but at the same time... So you're dead, and... Look at that. Can fire our way through here. And ooh, there's a bunch of spikes. Not quite sure whether I want to just get over there. Also, there's blocks there. That's good. Otherwise, this probably would have killed us. And there's another extra life. Sweet. Yeah, you can actually use extra lives in this game because, as said before, the boss can be tricky, but that might just be me. But okay, whatever. When you die, you get to keep the key. I'm not quite sure whether I've already mentioned that. That's actually quite nice, so you don't need to get back. Don't need to redo everything again. And you might even have more time. Oh dear. Didn't want to get hit by you. But that's okay. Let's just see what's here. It's another eagle helmet. I'll take that. Thank you very much. And then let's see what else awaits us here. It's probably more of these... what are those? Like raccoon thingies? Oh, well, now you fell off the tree. Yeah, this helmet here, the only thing you can't do is you can't use your tackle, but it's still very useful. And it really reigns supreme. And here's the key. Sweet. So let's just get all the way up here. So there's the exit, but obviously we don't want to go there. We want to find this level's hidden treasure first, because that's important. So let's roast you. Let's get this stuff here. The stage is also designed that you can generally transverse most things into both directions. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So that's another like nice design choice. So if you enter a stage from the quote-unquote wrong direction, it's not always like a situation where you can't really progress. So what do we have here? Another one of these treasure rooms. That's nice, but I'm more interested in the secret treasure, but we'll get to that. Generally only a couple of treasures are really tricky to find. Most of them just require you to do some exploration, check everything and make sure that you roast all the walls. Some of them do require special abilities, but at the same time, look at that. Isn't that handy? At the same time, they usually give you the respective power-ups somewhere close to where you're supposed to be. Also appreciate that the dragon helmet, when you roast someone with it, you can still get a coin. And hey, look at that. Speaking of coins, got some of them here. So this should lead down to the area where we were before, where we didn't go up. So can we destroy any walls here? It doesn't look like it. But we can, well, we can get another eagle helmet if we need one, which we don't really right now, but that's fine. And yeah, now you're both dead. Awesome. Or at least, well, you get a heart from enemies, I guess, not a coin, but that's still fine. So the question is, where is that treasure? Was that in the area where we had to like transverse all those gaps? Because it kind of. Well, and what's up? What's up here? Nope. Wario, please stop doing that. Don't. Wario, no. Okay. Whatever. It's not that important. At least I hope it's not. It might actually be, and I'm not realizing it. But we shall see about that once we are back here. So let's just jump up here and... Okay, so we're now in the foreground area. And the treasure area was in the back. And if we jump down there, we just end up here again. So in an area where we've already been. So that's okay. Nope. Wario, please don't do that. Then again, that was kind of me doing that, so I probably shouldn't complain. Anyway. Let's just fly over here. And I think we explored this area here too. Now let's just go through this again. We're going to find that treasure eventually. No worries there. Anything here? Any destructible walls? I don't think so, and I'm pretty sure we did everything there, and we just had to go to the background, so just in case we actually have to do that in one of the other rooms, let's just quickly check that out, and if not, we can always backtrack a little bit. If this takes too long, I'm just going to cut it out, so no worries there. So we can't roast these. Also, and I'm pretty sure this just leads us back to the area with the goal. Oh, there's still one of those guys left. And whoa, I thought I could roast you in midair, but maybe I can't. But that's okay too. Let's see. Maybe there's still something hidden over there. It has to be like a hidden door. Yeah, there we go. So, well, then again, this might not lead to the treasure room, but we shall see. Time to paralyze you guys, because I don't want to deal with you. And some more hearts, yes please. So let's see, this could be the right spot. Even if it's not, we still found a secret here, so that's always nice, of course. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. There we go, it's the pocket watch. Yeah, as you can see, we need about half the time we have for that, so the time limit it's essentially there so you have a limit on yourself if you really want all the treasures and stuff. But other than that, it's fairly forgiving. Here we go, may as well collect this stuff here and get more coinage. And here we go. Well, that was it for this stage here. So let's get upstairs once more. Oh, it looks like that guy's actually absent. Or is he just hanging out here? You know what? It doesn't really matter all that much, does it? Anyway, so we have now completed 5 stages. I think that's enough for now. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Take care and goodbye.